Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to the channel and happy Father's Day to everyone in the United States who is celebrating. Thank you for joining me for today's little tribute to my dad. In today's video, I wanted to share with you 10 things, qualities, characteristics in my dad that he sort of passed on to me that I'm so thankful for and grateful for, that I really look up to. This has been Human Design Week on the channel, so I thought it would be fun today to just share a little bit about my dad's amazing human design. So my dad is a generator. Whistle while you work. Do 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 do. He's a classic generator, you guys. He is always engaged in productive activities that he enjoys. He's a profile 6-2. This is one of my favorite profiles. It is incredible because it has a life cycle that goes in 3 phases, and these are people that get better with age. And that is absolutely true with my dad. He's in the 3rd phase now, and I look up to him more than ever before. My dad has emotional authority, just like me, and he has single definition. Astrologically, my dad is a 12th house man. He has a Leo ascendant with his sun in Cancer in the 12th house, and he's got a North Node in Leo in the 1st house. But Dad, if you're out there watching, I love you, I miss you, happy Father's Day. So I truly believe that we choose our parents, and there can be different reasons. Like sometimes we can choose a parent, maybe we, if you believe in past lives, have lived a prior life with them and we're kind of balancing things out. Maybe there's particular conditioning that we need that they will provide to us that we can rise out of in order to live our purpose or destiny in any given life. And a lot of it can be a mystery. You know, I was talking to one of my clients yesterday about how you know, we cross the veil of forgetfulness, like when we enter into the physical dimension, and it's not a mistake, right? That is the Maya. I think we can sometimes look to the particular things that stand out in our parents as clues as to why we came together as a family. But anyway, here's what I just think so fondly of in my dad. So the first thing is, like, literally as soon as I think of my dad in my childhood, I think of the wonderful feelings of just being so proud to like walk next to him or ride next to him in the car. Like, I just was like, this is my dad. Like, I just feel so good like next to him. He's such a handsome man. He's such a kind man. He's so like liked by other people. I don't know what it was about him, but you know, often I would just like tag along with him when I was little, and I was really, really quiet. I didn't talk a lot like as a kid, and I would just like watch, and I was like, this is a great guy. Like, I just felt like really proud to be his daughter. The second thing that really stands out to me about my dad is, and this really stands out, is like he's really a friend to everyone. Like, I cannot tell you the variety of different people that we had over to our house when I was growing up. Like, I just mean in terms of like people's background, their interests, their socioeconomic classes, their cultures, their religions. Like, we had this big, huge, like Victorian house with plenty of space to be able to host, and we did host like a lot of different parties and things like that, and it just always stood out to me. Like, I always felt like my dad could, like anyone can be like choosy, do you know what I mean? Like, you could be choosy with kind of who you had in your life, and a lot of people are, and a lot of people can be judgmental, but neither of my parents are like that. Like, both of them are, they have this like special ability to be able to recognize good people across the board, and like to go out and find good people like in various places like all over the world, and they just cast like this wide net of different people. And I just like it always struck me that my dad could like relate to anyone. I always saw my dad as a leader, and this is sort of the third thing, is he demonstrated to me leadership. And later I actually went on to study leadership, and I just saw him leading in the community. He was on the school board, really involved in leadership in the schools, in coaching. He was involved in local government. Like, he just seemed to be able to step up whenever there was a need. And he had the gift and ability, and if there was a need to organize, it was like he would step in and figure out a way. I literally cannot think of him without thinking of like music. Like, everywhere he goes, he sort of like brings the music with him, and we would go like on these road trips, and he would prepare like in a time where there was no Spotify. Some of you might be Generation Z and you can't even imagine that, but there wasn't like digital music lists. Like, I can't think of my dad without thinking about music, especially classic rock music, but there's always music playing, and he's always like bebopping and like dancing. Almost every time I listen to music, it's like a tribute to my dad. He really is like a lifelong learner, and I think this is like a 6'2" thing too. Like, I was just a little girl when he was still in the trial and error phase. I have just seen him just learn. Like, if something interests him, just like give it a try and figure it out. As far as I know, like, he had no background really in like construction or contracting work, or very little. But then he bought this, like I said, like big, huge Victorian house, and he like learned to do the electricity. Like, he learned to, you know, redo the walls, redo the floor, like basically like remake the entire house. And I think there was no YouTube, do you know what I mean? Like, to figure that out, like he was learning all of that. He coached sports that he had never played, and he would like sit down with like the rule books and like learn the sports, and then like go on and take the team to win like the state nationals. So he just demonstrated, like, if something interests you and you don't know how to do it, like, don't let that stop you. Just like at any age, at any stage, you can figure it out. And he's just done that over and over and over again. He is a very good role model of the 8th house. When I think of the 8th house, I think of letting go. Whatever's in the 8th house undergoes consistent and continual transformation, and you've got to let it go, let it die, and then somehow that thing, or the spirit of that thing, it comes back in a new way. Like, some people get a car and they're like, I love my car, like, a lot, and I'm gonna keep it forever. Like, a lot of people are like that, or I'll keep it for 10 years. We'd get a car like as a family. Like, minivans were really popular. We got a minivan at one point, went to Disney World, like traveled all over, and I loved that van. But like maybe like 6 months into it, it's like, oh, there's a new deal on cars. Like, let's let this one go and we'll trade it in, and we'll get a new car. And then we got like a new car and a better car, but there was a constant like undergoing of transformation, particularly in the material sphere, whether it was houses or whether it's cars or whether it's clothes. There was always a releasing to make space for new things and bringing in fresh things and leaning into that. And I feel like it was a very good demonstration of the 8th house. He demonstrated this passion for travel and history and like this like spirit of discovery. And he used to go like on these long trips where he would just like get inspired when I was a little girl, and he would like get on his motorcycle. The geographical landmass is huge. So like you can get in a car and you can drive in the States, and you can drive for like 20, 30, more than a day and still be in the States. So anyway, so he would be like, oh, I want to go to like the Grand Canyon, like these places that were pretty far away, and he would just like go. Whereas most people might just stay home and like watch TV or something like that and be like, yeah, it's too far. Like, he wouldn't be like, yeah, it's too far. Like, he would just go and like something about that is so amazing. Another thing that I love that my dad just demonstrated so well is the value of like sports, fitness, and being active. So one of my first memories of my dad when I was just tiny is him running to train for a marathon. He's still active, he's still running, like he's still doing half marathons and things, always active. Like rarely did I ever see a day where he was not on his feet, not doing some type of sport. And I just saw like the benefit of being involved, like both in the way it kind of develops your character, like being involved in sports and fitness, and just, I think for a generator type, like if you're a generator out there, like we need to stay active. Like the point is do things we love every day, get exhausted, go to bed exhausted, sleep well. And I feel like he definitely did that. He is someone to me who is a lifelong learner and is interested. You can see that there's an open-mindedness there. And actually, there is, right? So you might have noticed in his human design chart that he's largely undefined, especially undefined head and undefined ajna center. He showed me like it's okay not to know, and not knowing things can be a wonderful journey. He would always like watch the news or stuff and then discuss it with us and be like, okay, what was presented there? What do you think? Do you know what I mean? What might be more to the story or things like that? And that like sense of like learning, there's always more to learn, that really I think was instilled within me. That is just like a really good example of going after your hopes and dreams and like not letting anything stop you. My dad really wanted to be a campground owner. So I mentioned that we traveled like all throughout the United States, which there's 50 different states here. And we did a lot of camping. So like imagine that you and your family are traveling across the country and you often eat at Taco Bell, right? Like, so it's kind of like this. So like imagine your dad's like, I want to own a Taco Bell because like I love tacos. Like a lot of dads might feel that way because like tacos are awesome. Like to buy a Taco Bell, you have to get together a bunch of money. You have to learn like all these rules and regulations about food safety and how to like hire employees and like what is actually in the meat and like all of this kind of stuff. And I would like to own a campground because campgrounds are great, you know, and they're places of family gathering and all this. But most of them like wouldn't actually do it because there's a lot of barriers. Like my dad did it, not just once, 3 times. Like he actually ended up buying 3 different campgrounds and we ran them together as a family. My camera overheated, you guys, so I know it's time to end, but Dad, I love you. Happy Father's Day, and to all you out there who joined me today and watched, thank you so much for being here, and I just hope the highest and best qualities of your own father live within you and inspire you each and every day. Thank you for joining me and watching. Please come back soon. Bye.